In this video, I'm going to give you a full step-by-step guide on how to find profitable merch-fulfilled products to sell on Amazon in 2025 and beyond. Let's jump inside my screen and do some online arbitrage sourcing. All right, guys, so we're here inside my screen. This is where we'll be hanging out to do online arbitrage. All you're going to need to go ahead and do this is the SellerAmp Chrome extension downloaded on your browser, so we can go ahead and rock and roll and find profitable products to sell on Amazon, so we can make a ton of money selling products via Amazon FBA, and in this case, not Amazon FBA, Amazon FBM, merch fulfilled. FBA is where you ship products off in bulk to the Amazon warehouse. FBM is where you fulfill individual orders to the customer one by one. FBM makes a lot of sense during July and August for back to school, as well as right now during Q4 between October and December, where there's a really condensed period of high demand. But most people do FBM wrong, especially on the product sourcing side of things. So I want to walk you guys through what that actually looks like. So for example, we can take a look at this Gap hoodie right here. We can see the lowest price is currently $51 right here. We can see there's no buy box on this listing. Don't automatically avoid stuff that doesn't have a buy box. We can see this sells. It has good reviews, has a good sales rank here, right? We can also see has the private label alert on SellerAmp. A lot of people automatically avoid stuff that has the private label alert on SellerAmp. Trust me, that does not matter. That only matters if it's actually dominated by the brand. However, if we take a look at the sellers on this listing, we can see these sellers are not the brand here. So we can see it's private label if it's dominated by the brand, if the brand's only seller on it. However, private label alert typically just shows up when a listing is low competition. It's on you to take a look if that listing is dominated by the brand or not. So what a lot of people think you do for FBM product research is we can see, we take a look over here on the Gap website. This hoodie's going for $30, for example, right here. It's actually going for $25 here. So we can see this hoodie's going for $25 here, right? So if we go ahead and plug in $24.99, we can see after shipping, fees, sales tax, SellerAmp takes into account all of that, this product yields $9 profit and a 35% ROI. I can also go over to Cardbear here, which is a very helpful site to get products cheaper and create more profit margins, and see that Gap discounted gift cards we can get for 10% plus. If we buy a $90 gift card for $100, that adds 10% to our bottom line. So if I rock and roll over here, I can take off this 10%, and now this listing becomes even more profitable. But where most beginners go wrong is they think to get the exact FBM numbers that you just subtract shipping from this number here, the profit. That's not correct whatsoever. What you do instead is you scroll down here and actually toggle over to the merch fulfilled calculator on SellerAmp and then add in the estimated merch fulfilled cost. So what actually goes in here for FBM cost, right? This is a little guideline on what that actually looks like here for weights relative to the shipping costs. I definitely recommend screenshotting this and going ahead and implementing it. When you're actually buying shipping for items for your Amazon orders, just through Amazon, you buy whatever shipping is cheapest here. However, this is a good general guideline that below 1 pound tends to be USPS, above 1 pound tends to be UPS for the most part. Obviously, it can change situation by situation here. So we can see if we rock and roll up here on SellerAmp and take a look at the quick info here, we can see this weighs about 10 ounces right here, right? So at 10 ounces, it's going to ship for like $5.50, $5.25, for example. So we can go down here and plug in, $5.25 here, and we can see that leaves a 63% ROI. FBM. FBA, it's a 51% ROI. So there's so many hidden leads that exist if you go ahead and run those FBM numbers that you're not going to see if you're only doing the FBA numbers right here. Now, how do we find other winning merch filled products to sell? We take a look inside the storefronts of other FBM sellers. So how do we go ahead and do that? We scroll down here on SellerAmp and we can see here on the offers tab, we can see all the different sellers that are selling this product, and we open up the ones that we know have lots of money, aka that have a good amount of reviews. So we can see 1,300 reviews. That looks pretty good. 65 reviews. That looks pretty good. Let's open up these sellers and see what else they're selling here, right? Because pretty quickly we can now go ahead and see all their fastest selling listings that show at the top of their store. We can also filter into specific brands here. We can also filter into specific categories here as well, right? And prior to opening up any listing, we can also see if there's merch filled presence on this listing, right? We can see in this case, Amazon's on it. Not really going to worry about that, for beginners here, right? But we can see in this case, right, Amazon's on some of these. We can filter into Columbia listings, for example, here, right? And then we can find the ones that Amazon isn't on, right? Or we take a look at, this seller, for example. It's got a bunch of Gap, bunch of Calvin Klein, bunch of Tommy Hilfiger stuff, right? So now we just want to take a look at these sellers, right, and open up listings that I can see people selling merch filled on. And then we just want to see, okay, where are they carried? And then we want to use the merch filled calculator on some. So we can see FBM action on this item. We can go ahead and open up that, right? We can see Amazon's on this one. They're on a lot of it. They're probably not on all the variations here. But we can keep moving. Take a look at this. So we can see which ones Amazon's not on here. Let's see. So Amazon's on a lot of these here, right? We can see, yeah, 35, right? So we can take a look at that. Totally FBM action on this. Right here, we can see totally FBM action on this. In the future, if you're taking a look at these and you see Amazon on some of them, open them up and go on the variations Amazon isn't on. For the sake of this video, though, we're just going to take a look at stuff where we can verifiably see that Amazon's not on, for example, right here. So we can see this item right here, this tank top, right? We can see a whole bunch of sizes here as well. Let's see size large. So we can take a look at these guys right here and we can see in a 4 toddler right here, we can see they're going for right here. Yeah, no buy box, right? $24, right? So we can see they're very, very light. So 5 ounces, right? Remember, items that are above $20 but below 1 pound are very nice for FBM here. So now we just want to go ahead and hit the Google button on SellerAmp, right? And we can see, boom, yeah, $10 right here, right? So these actually should end up being pretty profitable here, right? So we can see $10, right? And then remember, we got a discounted gift card too, right? So if we rock and roll in here and plug in $10 on this buy cost right here, we can see this is pretty profitable here. But you have to remember, we also want to do those FBM numbers, right? Because this Q4 FBM's hot, especially on items that are above $20 but below 1 pound, right? So if we rock and roll down here, we can go ahead and see, okay, what's the weight here? So the weight is about 5 ounces, right? So it's going to ship for like, $4.50, $5 here. So we can see, right? FBM, it's a 52% ROI. FBA, it's only a 37% ROI, and that's not even counting the discounted gift card that I can go ahead and add in too. So now this listing becomes even more profitable. See, I get this for like $9, for example, taking off the discounted gift card. We can see now it becomes a 70% ROI, right? And that's why these little tips and tricks and complications make all the difference with product research, guys. And that if you're taking a look at stuff and you're not running the FBM numbers, you're not seeing if there's any additional coupons, you're not seeing if these retailers take sales tax exempt, for example, you're going to miss a lot of leads that you otherwise would find if you were doing things the correct way. So we can see these are nice and profitable. And what I'd also do is go ahead and take a look at the, other sizes here to see if any of those make sense as well. So we can see these guys here going for like, yeah, $35 here. So we need to find these in like the, $15 range, for example, here. We can see these are a little bit above 1 pound. So these don't have much of an advantage merch filled right here, but it's Q4, it's merch filled season. We can see, yeah, 25 right there. It's not quite going to make sense. No problem here. Let's see these jackets here as well. $30 here. Let's see. Okay. Yeah. $20 here. Right. So let's take a look. These might be under 1 pound too as well. So let's see. Yeah. Black here. We got extra small. Right. So let's go ahead and see right here. Okay. So extra small right here. Let's see. Oh, 40. Okay. These actually do work here. Yeah. Let's see switchback jackets here. Right. So we can see black right here, extra small here. So let's see. So this is $20 right here. It's got the logo right there too. Let's see. It's got boom right there. Okay. Switchback jacket here. Switchback here as well. So let's see. Let's take a look at this here. So we can see. Please tell me this on 1 pound. Perfect. Right. 7 ounces. Exactly what I'm looking for. $40, great price point here, right? We can see there is the IP warning on SellerAmp here, so we would need to take a look and see if there's any IP history on this Keep It chart, which we can see in this case. We can go to like the all-time. I don't really see any like big cliffs, which would indicate IP, but prior to sourcing a new brand, I do need to take a look at some other Keep It charts in that brand to see if there's any big drop-offs here, right? It's not the end of the world if you take a look at that, take a sec here. Scrolling down here, we'll take a look at the FBM number. So we plug in like, say, like 550. For example, here we can see FBA, 40% ROI, FBM, 51% ROI. And that's the name of the game, guys. You don't find stuff good, you make it good. And with merch-filled sourcing, we could keep this going here, guys, and take a look at other sellers in this listing that are also doing merch-filled inside their storefronts as well, as long as you make sure, that they're making a good amount of profit here, which would be taking a look at sellers that have a good amount of reviews, right? So we could open up this seller here. We could open up this seller here, for example. And this is so much more efficient than just going to random websites and looking at the clearance section, which is known as manual sourcing here. This is the name of the game. Storefront stalking here. Make sure you run those FBM numbers. Use these winning products we found in this video as examples of winning products to go ahead and storefront stock from as well. If you guys got questions about the stuff, make sure to let us know down below in the comments. You can try SellerAmp completely free on our website, selleramp.com. Hope you guys enjoyed the merch-filled sourcing tutorial, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Thanks a lot.